What's up? Welcome back to the JCC show. This is episode 6. This is consistency and why consistency matters and the benefits of consistency along with the downfalls of not being consistent. So, thank you for coming back and let's get right into it. Again, I apologize for I am super congested and I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so stupid, but it is what it is. I'm recording episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6 all in the same night. So that's the reason over the past 3. This is my voice. This is my face. I apologize for that, but it is what it is. This is important to me, so I'm going to do this even though I feel like crap. So, anyways, consistency. Just so y'all know, if you see me looking down, I do have notes. I have bullet points. I have ADHD, and I'll be like and go off on a tangent. So that's why if you see me look down, I'm referencing my notes. Consistency. It's such a small word for the impact that it has on everything. The last episode was about execution, and I said just start today, start doing whatever, building a plan, start working towards what it is that you want and your goals and things such as that. And I think we all know that going to the gym one time does you no good. So when I say just start executing with consistency, it is a very, very important part of this whole process is being consistent and making habits that align with your goals. So you can be consistent on the wrong things and you're going to lead yourself into a world of trouble. As I've stated before, I was a drug addict for a lot of years. I was an alcoholic for some years. I was not a good person. The only thing that has got me from where I was, being homeless, addicted, living on the streets, to where I am now, is consistency. Now, there's a lot of planning, a lot of learning and growing and becoming. But if at any point I stop, if at any point I think that that's enough, I lose it all. There's no... Tony Robbins says you're either growing or you are dying. There's no point where you move backwards. There's no point where you just kind of stall out. You're growing or you're dying. You don't... When it comes to a muscle, if you don't use it, it will die. You have got to consistently put in the reps, do the work, and there's nothing you cannot accomplish. You can be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to be consistent in your work ethic. Consistency is something... I have ADHD. It's something I have to really focus on. It's something I have to really, really pay attention to, or else my ADHD brain will catch up with me and squirrel, and then I'll just lose track of everything and inconsistency will kick in, and then I'll miss a day at the gym, or I'll miss 2 days at the gym, and then once I've missed two, then it's like, oh well, I'll figure it out on Monday. It doesn't work because Monday rolls around, and then I'm like, well, I really need to go do this, or I really need to go do that. It's crazy. It's not good. Being consistent is the only way to dominate your life and to make life give you whatever it is that you want. You have to put in consistent work. It's not easy. It's never going to be easy. I know people that are absolutely jacked, just absolute. You look at them and you're like, oh my God, he's built like a Greek god. And you talk to him and you're like, bro, you could probably slow down. Like, you don't have to hit the gym every day. Like, you've reached your goals. You know, every one of them will tell you, no, consistency matters. Because once you stop, then it's harder to get back. I did jiu-jitsu there for a while. And this played out in a big way because I had to miss because my ex-wife had surgery. And so I had to miss. And then I was like, I'll go back. And then I still haven't been to another jiu-jitsu class. And sucked too because I went to a tournament and I lost twice. But it was a blast. It really was. Anyways, so there goes my squirrel brain again. One good day means nothing. One trip to the gym doesn't mean anything. It doesn't get you anywhere. Eating good for one day doesn't get you anywhere. Consistency matters in a way that it's do or die. It literally, that's the only way that I know that I can put it that makes sense in my head is it's life or death. It's do or die. It's all or nothing. You have to be consistent. I know with my workouts, my body's not where I want it to be. I'm on the way. I'm better than I was, but I'm not where I want to be yet. But I know that even whenever I do get to where I want to be, that I have to be consistent, because if not, I'm going to lose it all. I was working out consistently for 4 months, and then I got back with my ex, and I was like, I'm going to hang out with her. I'd rather hang out with her and the kids and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll get there tomorrow. And then I never went tomorrow. And then I'll get there tomorrow. And then I never went that tomorrow either. And then inconsistency. Then the only thing that I started being consistent at was being inconsistent. And all of the gains that I had, all of my confidence that I had in myself, because I knew I was doing what I needed to do, all that just went out the window. I remember the day that my dad was like, bro, look how big your arms are. And that pride that I felt, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, they are. Like, I'm getting big. And then it's all gone. And then I have to start back over at zero. And it's because I was not consistent. Consistency matters in every aspect of your life, whether it be your relationships or your fitness or your finances. Or consistency in a relationship could kill it, or inconsistency could kill it. If you show up to your relationship being one guy one day, and then somebody else a different day, and then, oh, well, but no, this is me, this is the real me, but you are inconsistent, she's going to see through that, he's going to see through that, whoever is going to see straight through it. And you're going to lose that person. Because one, you're not trustworthy. Two, you know you're not trustworthy, so you show up different, and you're never going to be that guy, that girl, being inconsistent. executing inconsistently. If you say, all right, babe, from now on, every Thursday we're going date nights. Every Thursday. We'll figure out the situation with the kids, whatever. And then you do that for 3 weeks in a row, and then, oh, you got a headache the next Thursday. And then you try it again, y'all go on another date, and then you miss another one, and then you miss two, and eventually she's just going to give up on the idea that that is y'all's time, and then it's not going to be important to her anymore either. And then you just fall into the pattern of we're just going through the motions, and there's nothing spontaneous or romantic. And I can say this from experience. Been there, done it, single. So, consistency is massive in every aspect of your life. One reason that people fall off is because a lot of people rely on motivation. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, motivation is crap. Motivation is not going to get you anywhere. What you need is discipline. And it's crazy to me how all of this stuff perpetuates itself. So you get more confidence by being consistent. But then that confidence adds on to your discipline because you know, hey, I'm this guy now. And then you say, okay, and then that discipline gives you more consistency because you're like, no, I like 100%, this is who I am. You quit smoking. And then somebody 3 days later says, hey, you want a cigarette? What are your options? You either say, I'm not a smoker, or no, bro, I haven't smoked in a few days and I'm trying to do blah, 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 blah. Guarantee the guy that says, no, I'm not a smoker, isn't going to smoke a cigarette. The guy that says, I haven't had one in 3 days, blah, 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 he's probably going to smoke another cigarette. One reason that I work with addicts, but I don't do the 12-step program. I think the 12-step program is phenomenal. It has saved millions and millions of people. I don't do it for me personally, and I don't teach it in that manner for my clients is because of the I'm an addict thing. I don't believe that once an addict, always an addict. I think that once you're done, you reach a point you're done, that's it. I'll never do drugs again, not because I'll never think about it, not because I'll never have a memory that was a good time or something. I'll never do drugs again because I am disciplined enough to stay away from them. And I will consistently stay away from them. There will never be a time when I allow myself to go near them because I don't want to, for one thing, but also because I personally live the experience and I know what it does to you. I don't want to be around it. It's no good for anyone, and getting around it is it's just a bad idea. But anyway, so you fall off because you want motivation, but motivation, it goes. It comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes. Discipline's where it's at. Be disciplined. Be consistent. And you can have anything that you want. Another thing is for some people, they get addicted to the doing, not the finishing. They get to starting it off and to the, oh, I'm making strides, I'm doing this. They're not addicted to seeing it out. They're not addicted to working it completely through. I find with some of the clients I work with, it's a massive problem. They will start a project, never finish one. And it's like, okay, you've got to get through this part so that we can move you to the next part, so that we can build on that, so that we can, And it seems like it never happens because they can't stay consistent long enough to complete anything. And it is absolutely detrimental to their growth and to their the future versions of themselves. Um, it completely wipes them out. So get off of the addiction to starting things and get addicted to seeing things through. Get addicted to the finishing of the task at hand. Don't start something else until you finished what you're doing. You're just never going to get anywhere. And it's just that simple. You're not. So I mentioned in the last video that failure and success are part of the same process, and that failure it's a necessity. For a lot of people quit because they fail once, or they fail twice, or maybe even 3 times, and then they say, oh well, this just doesn't work, there's no way I can do it. That's crazy. That is absolute insanity. What you have to do is you have to be consistent. If your kid is born and Tony Robbins says, how long would you give them to how long would you give them to learn to walk? And then he's like, most parents would say, what, are you crazy? My kid's going to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying until they figure it out. And then he's like, oh, so maybe there's the formula. And that's it. It's keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, adjust. That doesn't work, adjust. That doesn't work, adjust. That doesn't work, adjust. And keep pushing. Keep moving forward. Be consistent daily. And there's no way you can lose. You can be consistent in everything that you do. Prioritize the things that matter and then consistently work at those things. Focus on those things. Put effort into those things. Get obsessed about it. And, I've been an addict. I know what it feels like to be obsessed and addicted. And this new level that I'm on, I am addicted to trying my best to make the world a better place. Making the world a better place. I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it through consistency. And I'm going to do it through repetitiveness if necessary. I'm going to do it through making videos whenever I feel like crap. I'm going to do it through working with clients when I feel like crap. I'm going to do it through building and building and building and building, and I'm not going to stop. I refuse to stop. No matter what the most important things in my life, I've gotten to a point where I will be consistent. I will take the steps that are necessary, even if they're scary, even if they're hard. I will, because I don't have another choice. I have raised my standards to a level that say we have to do it. It doesn't matter if we want to. We have to. And so I just noticed on this camera, my lip looks weird, and I'm not sure what it is, but whatever. Sorry, ADHD brain. Success is hard. Success is a grind. Success is literally the sum of consistent effort and planning and strategy that you implement on a daily basis. You will never be successful without consistency. Get out of your feelings. Your feelings are just that. They're just feelings. They are not anything more than... they're nothing. They're... How you feel, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, is completely irrelevant to your task and what you need to be doing. ignore your feelings. Your feelings are, they don't, how you feel does not determine how you show up. Feelings are dumb. Feelings don't matter. Feelings are just that. They are just feelings. And they don't control anything. So, get out of your feelings. Consistency, like I was saying a minute ago, it builds discipline. And discipline builds confidence. And then it goes back into more discipline because you see it's working, and then more confidence, and it just goes round and round and round. And I'm sure you've heard of a negative loop. Well, this is a positive loop. The more consistent that you are, the more consistent you will want to be, and the more that you execute consistently, the more that you will want to execute, and you're just going to do bigger and bigger and better things. So be consistent. Figure out what you're supposed to do and make it happen. Whether it take a day, whether it take a month, whether it take a year, consistently show up in your relationships, at your job, with your finances, spirituality, whatever it is. Be consistent. No halfway in, halfway out. Half-assing anything is not good. Sorry, Mom. I know I shouldn't have said that word, but that's what it is. Success takes time. I saw a meme earlier of a guy. It was like two miners mining side by side, and the first miner hits a diamond, and so the first miner hits a diamond and leaves. The second miner hops in his hole and starts digging. What he didn't realize is that right underneath where he was digging is a much bigger diamond than the first guy found. There's also a story, and it's a true story, about a guy that stopped 3 feet from gold. He went and bought a mine and bought all the material, borrowed a bunch of money from his family and all that. And I'm pretty sure this is in the book Think and Grow Rich. But he bought a mine, bought all the equipment and everything to start mining it, found a good bit of gold, and then the vein dried up. And he didn't know what to do, and he tried a little bit more and tried a little bit more, and nothing worked. So he pretty much packed it up, sold all of his equipment to a junkyard guy, and moved back to where he was from and gave up. And he stopped 3 feet from gold. And the junkyard guy knew something about mining, so he took all that equipment and bought the mine, went back up there, and got a specialist in there. And the specialist is like, yeah, you're going to find more gold this direction. And 3 feet later, he ran into one of the biggest gold veins that's ever been discovered. That could have been the first guy's. And, but he wasn't consistent. He didn't keep showing up day after day after day. He gave up. Don't stop 3 feet from gold. You will hate yourself for the rest of your life. If you lose everything you've ever wanted because you're not being consistent, you will absolutely hate yourself. Don't do that. Stop chasing motivation. Start raising your standards. Make consistency a standard. The person that I am becoming is consistent in all things. His everything across the board. That's the only way to do it. That's just the truth of the matter, is you have to be consistent if you want anything good. You have to be consistent if you want to maintain self-worth, your relationships, finance, everything. It touches every single aspect of your life. So, with that, I mean, just raise your standards, be consistent, become the type of person that you want to become. Consistency is so huge and it's so important in the grand scheme of things. And I want you to do well. I want you to be your best. So be consistent.